So today is December 29th, so almost New Year. Yay for people who get to do something other than heal. But I am currently in Stowe, Vermont with my in-laws and my husband, obviously. They're all out skiing right now, which is great for them. I'm not a big skier, although I'm hoping next year I might be able to learn. The most exciting thing I've been able to do since I've been here is go on a sleigh ride, which was really, really nice. It was beautiful. So today's video is going to be about misinformation. One of the rules I made for myself when I started on this whole process was I am going to listen to whatever my doctor says and follow it. If my doctor tells me to do something, I'm going to do it. If my doctor tells me not to do something, I'm not going to do it. That seems like a pretty straightforward rule. It seems like it should be an easy thing to follow. You know, nothing should go wrong with that. Except that I keep getting different information from different sources. When I was in the hospital, right before I was discharged, my doctor came to see me, and he said, "Well, did the nutritionist give you all your information?" I said, "The nutritionist never came to see me." Turns out the nutritionist was supposed to come see me in the hospital and give me all my information for when I was leaving the hospital. She never did. So the nurses gave me the instruction to continue to drink 4 ounces of liquid every 1 hour. And they gave me a straw and some sippy cups of hospital juice and sent me home. Also Percocet. Yay, Percocet. So I got home and I was exhausted by the time I got home, so I didn't even try to drink anymore. But the next morning, I was just so frustrated because I kept trying to drink that 4 ounces, and the most I could get down was like an ounce or two, maybe two, and it was just so frustrating. I was thinking, is there something wrong? Is the opening not big enough? What's going on? So I finally got in touch with the nutritionist, who I guess I just never got put on her schedule. And she said, "Oh, no, you're only supposed to be drinking at this stage 1 to 2 ounces of liquid an hour, and then build up over the course of the week to 4 ounces, which was a huge relief, great relief. She also told me, "Oh, you only have to be on the liquid diet for a week, and then after that you go on the mush diet for a week." I thought, great, I can do that. That's not a problem. I have no issue with that. That means I get the mush earlier. So this past week on Wednesday, I transferred over to mush. Yay, mush! I had a part of an egg for one meal. I had some kefir, which actually went well. I had a little bit of pasta and some more kefir. Other than the kefir, nothing went well. Nothing was staying down, nothing was staying, so I was really frustrated. And on Thursday I had my doctor's appointment, my follow-up doctor's appointment. So I went to the follow-up doctor's appointment, and in that it was the nurse practitioner, who's kind of the head of the office under the doctors, going through the whole thing, and she said, "Okay, for people who've had the gastric sleeve, you're going to be on the stage 1 diet for 2 weeks. I kind of raised my hand like, my nutritionist told me I was only supposed to be on it for 1 week. "Oh, no, you're supposed to be on it for 2 weeks. You can get tearing, you can get leaking, all this kind of stuff." What? I really wish someone had told me that, before I tried this food. I mean, it's good that there was a reason that the food wasn't going well for me. I mean, I'm glad that it wasn't just, I was never going to be able to eat food, but at the same time, it was disappointing to have food taken away from me again. I mean, I'm doing fine. The big change that's made it tolerable is I can now drink up to at least 3 of these a day. So this is a 20-ounce bottle. And the thing the nutritionist told me not to drink anything with glucose, or very little glucose, have very, very little glucose. Just have things with either broth or just non-caloric beverages. So for a week, I had nothing but broth and non-caloric beverages. Turns out I could have been having diluted Gatorade, diluted juice, all that kind of stuff the whole time. So this is about 40% Gatorade, 60%, Powerade, and 60% juice. I'm feeling a lot better since I started doing that, and I'm a lot more hydrated. I was really, really thirsty by the time I got to the doctor's office, so that was really good. And then the other misinformation I was given was when I had first started this process They told me about the restriction that you can't drink for a half hour before you eat. You're supposed to take a half hour to eat, during which time you're not supposed to drink anything. And then you're supposed to take a half hour after you eat and not drink anything. And when I asked about that, I said, so like if you're eating something salty, you can't even like moisten your mouth? And I can't remember who I was talking to, but they said, oh yeah, that's fine, you'll totally be able to moisten your mouth. And the nurse practitioner said, no, you can't. You can't moisten your mouth. So it's just like, it's really hard to stick to the doctor's restrictions when nobody knows what those actual restrictions are. And so I'm doing my best. It's frustrating, but I'm doing my best. I have not cheated once, unless you count the misinformation about the solid food as cheating. But, you know, I've been sticking to my liquids, sticking to broths. I've not gotten into the Jell-O. I'm kind of saving Jell-O for after I go on to solids as kind of a snack, because it's something you can eat. If you eat sugar-free Jell-O, it counts as a liquid rather than a meal. So it's something that I can have if I need the feeling of eating or something like that. So I don't want to get sick of it by the time I get to that stage. The other big thing that has happened, other than the fact that I've lost 24 pounds, yay! The other big thing that has happened is, in one of my previous videos I talked about somebody at my doctor's office who was really, really horrible. And I don't think I'd even reached the pinnacle of how horrible she was by the time I made that video. She was just so snappy, so mean, would never return calls, made me do all of the work that she was supposed to be doing. So how I found out that I was actually approved for the surgery, the very nice people at my insurance company gave me that number that I could call to find out if I'd been approved. So the Thursday, the week and a half before my surgery, I called that number and they said, oh yeah, you've been approved, no big deal. So I called this woman at my doctor's office and I said, hey, I just talked to my insurance company and they said I've been approved. Would you be able to call them and double check this? And I called her maybe at like 3:30 in the afternoon, and she just snapped at me. I have so much to do today, I cannot possibly do that. I'll get to it tomorrow. I'm like, I wasn't asking you. I was using my friendliest tone because that was the only thing I could think of to use with this woman. But I was like, I wasn't asking you to do it this second. I was asking you if that's the next step. Then she wouldn't tell me what the pre-surgery prep was. And I understand about her not telling me what time it was. That depends on the hospital and everything like that. But she would not tell me what my pre-surgery prep was until the day before. So I didn't know if I had to stop eating at noon or if I had to stop eating at midnight, which it turned out it was midnight. So I had all these horrible experiences with her, and I'd kind of decided that she just had taken a dislike to me. But before my doctor's appointment, during the seminar in which I talked to the nurse practitioner with several other people, the nurse practitioner said to the group, hey, I said to one of the women, well, didn't you get that information beforehand? And the woman said, no. I'm gonna call the problem woman Sharon. So Sharon told me that I didn't have to do that, and just opened up the floodgates. There were about 4 of us that were just like, and then this happened with Sharon, and then this happened with Sharon, and then this happened with Sharon, and then this happened, and then this happened, and we were just, I mean, we used up a good 15 minutes of the seminar time, which I do feel a little bit guilty about. In fact, one of the people had to step out and go see the doctor, because she was like, I have to leave now. But so we just started, I mean, we just ripped into her, because I think we'd all been holding this in. And I think it was just so amazing to realize that it was all of us, all the, you know, one woman couldn't get in touch with her for 4 days before her surgery to find out if she had a cold, and she wanted to know, should I move the surgery back? Sharon wouldn't call her back. And finally, when she got in touch with her the night before her surgery, Sharon was like, you should go see a doctor. She's like, it's 4 o'clock the night before my surgery. When am I supposed to go see a doctor? So we aired all our grievances, and finally the nurse practitioner kind of stopped us, and she said, I'm the wrong person to be talking to about this. Okay, so I actually said, okay, then who is the right person? Because clearly there was a problem here. And she said, no, you don't understand. I am Sharon's boss's boss, and she will not have a job tomorrow. Which, I mean, part of me feels guilty about. I mean, that is a terrible thing, especially, you know, right around the holidays and stuff like that. But at the same time, in this economy, you know there is someone out there without a job who would be fantastic at that job. and who would make the process for patients like me so much easier rather than making it more difficult. And, you know, I think that's what had to happen. I mean, I feel bad about it, but, you know, you have to be good at your job or you get fired. I mean, that's what happens. As far as I know, she's no longer an employee of my doctor's office. So that's really the big news with me. I'm looking forward to some strained egg drop soup for lunch. Such is my life. I have been, they refer to it as head hungry. That's a term that I've learned, where you're not actually, like my stomach still doesn't feel very hungry, but you smell foods and you just think, oh, that would be so good to eat. And I was last night as I was falling asleep because we've got 2 things of egg drop soup in the kitchen. One that's strained, one that isn't. And I was thinking, after everybody leaves to go skiing, I'm going to get the unstrained egg drop soup and I'm going to eat it with the eggs. And I'm like, A, I'm not going to. B, what a lame fantasy. Oh my god, like, I can't wait to be past the phase where I'm fantasizing about egg whites. So I hope everybody has a great New Year's. Be safe, be healthy, and I'll talk to you soon.